Hi, this is Jenn Tinline from stampwithjen.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I colored this beautiful flower with blends markers. I'm starting with just a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and I'm going to ink up this stamp set, this flower stamp, with my Memento ink. And you want to use Memento black ink because it can withstand the alcohol in the markers and won't bleed out on you. So I'm just centering this nice and easy with a clear block and pressing firmly. The stamps that I'm using is Birthday Blooms, and the blends that I'm using are the Pink Pirouette combo and the Rich Raspberry combo for the petals, and also the Daffodil Delight for the inside of the flowers. So I'm going to start with that. And these markers have two tips. This sort of pointed brush tip, which I'm using to get the little wee tiny pieces of the inside of the flower. And it also has a bullet tip, which I'm going to use for more shading. It's a little more durable, I find. And you'll notice that I struggle a little bit getting the caps of the markers off, and that's because they're super tight, which is a good thing so that alcohol doesn't dry out. So I'm starting with the darkest Rich Raspberry color, and then I'm moving to the lighter Rich Raspberry color and just blending over top to sort of make that line fade. And then I'm going to move to the Pink Pirouette. Now this is quite a color difference between the two, so it's a little harder to get that blended, but if you're just going over it in little circular motions, and it's starting to blend out, as you can see that. So my idea here is that down towards the base of the flower, where the lines actually are in the stamp set, is darker, moving up to the tips of the petals where it would be quite a bit lighter, almost white even. And so that's how I'm going to create the whole thing. Now it takes a little while to, so you can see there the light and the dark. It takes a little while to do this, of course, but sort of once you figure out the first combination, then the rest of it is pretty quick. I decided that this wasn't quite dark enough, so I wanted to just add a little bit more color and darken that up. And just by adding the same colors over top, you can add those layers. I think near the end, I actually ditch the light Pink Pirouette marker altogether and just use the darker Pink Pirouette marker. That gives me enough of a differentiation between the colors. So again, here going in deep where the flower would be naturally darker, and then just blending out that color a little bit. I just love the dimension that this gives to the flower, and I've just sped up the video here just to so you don't get too bored, and I'm going to continue to just kind of do this fast, except for places where I want you to see in detail where I'm going. You don't want to go too far ahead, like I didn't want to do all the dark pieces first and then go back, otherwise the alcohol starts to dry and you can't blend it as well. So you want to do it in little pieces, and these little tiny petals are perfect, a couple at a time. So again, you can really see the dimension coming through there on those flowers, and then the lighter color for the tips. And you'll also see later that I go in with the color lifter and just really lighten up those tips. So again, I'm just speeding this up so you can see it's really going quickly here how to do all those little bits. I find coloring quite therapeutic, and I enjoy just sitting and working my way at it, and you can really see that flower coming together. And so when I get to the center, I'm just very carefully using the lighter color marker in the center in between the yellow parts that I've already done, and then I do start to build the darker color up after. Here I am using the color lifter, and just again to lighten up a few areas so you can really see the differentiation in the dimension. And that color lifter just pulls that color right up. And it's very subtle, but again, it's just the difference between a flower that's just colored all one color as opposed to a color with these multi-dimensional colors. And so I'm just repeating the same idea on the little wee parts here, just in smaller quantities. And if you're not sure how to color this, one of the things you can use is the guidelines of the stamp itself. So in this stamp there are lines where the artist wants that to appear darker. The other thing you do is to take a look at a picture. And so you can see the very middle here I've colored quite dark, and that's because the petals will be all bunched up together. And you know what, just any kind of differentiation makes the flowers look really cool. I just colored the very tips of the outside flowers with the lightest color. And again, I'm going back in here with the color lifter just because I'm comparing it to my original. I can see that I've done quite a bit lighter on those tips, and it makes a big difference to the depth of the image. So these blends, you can buy them individually. They are in Canada $6 a marker, or you can buy them as a pair for $12. There's no particular savings doing one or the other, so which is really nice, because if you tend to use one color more than another and it runs out, you can easily replace that. And that's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be replaceable, not refillable. There are 12 blends with a light and a dark of each, as well as ivory and bronze skin tone color and a color lifter. And you can get everything individually, or you can get the entire set together. I'm just using the color lifter, I don't know if you saw that there, really quickly to erase a mark that I had made. So that's the other thing you can do with the color lifter. If you go outside the lines, you can just use that to kind of erase the ink from the paper. The lifter will take that ink up. It doesn't completely get rid of it, but for the most part it does hide that, so that's great. With the 12 colors that Stampin' Up! Has, you can do quite a variation of colors. You can see here just by my blending the purple and the pink how what a nice color you're getting. I'm showing you here on the petal that I've decided to color the edges of the petal dark, and then up against the flower also dark where it'd be naturally shaded, and then the top of the petal light. My idea here is just the image looked to me like the petals were kind of curved downwards, so I wanted the darker spot to be on the bottom, which is why I'm doing the lighter on the very top. And that's how I do all the petals, and you can see that I will go over this a few times to get really the look that I want. And again, using that color lifter, and I'd forgotten one little flower there. So see how prettily it comes together. That's a word, right? Prettily. And I just love this image. It's so nice for coloring. So I'm just fixing up a few little boo-boos outside the line there. And here I'm just darkening up a few spots again to make it look more like my original sample. And then this last part is something that I love to do. It's just a little trick, and it's outlining the whole image. If you watched my video with the baby card, I did this with a blue color. So this is a light smoky slate that I'm doing here. I'm outlining the image with this light smoky slate, and then I'm blending that out a little bit with the color lifter so it's not such a harsh line. And it's just to give the image a real pop by outlining it and making it really just almost jump off the page. And I'm hoping you can see the difference in the parts that I've done and not done, how much it really helps lift that off the page. So any light color would work for this. Like I said, in my baby card I did blue because it was picturing the sky, and this was just like just a background, the smoky slate. That's one of my favorite ones to use. So again, I'm just fiddling a little bit, and the nice thing with the blends is you can go over and over this stuff as much as you want, and once it dries, sometimes it does look a little bit different, so you can go back over it. And I'm just lightening up a few of those areas to make it really look spectacular. Here I'm pretty much done, and I'm just going to finish the card off with a sweet sugar plum matte, old olive piece of designer paper, the base is smoky slate, and a fresh fig ribbon, just because I thought the dark color really matched the fresh fig very well. So thank you very much for watching. Come back to stampwithjenn.com often for other tips, tricks, and ideas. Thank you.